Hey everyone, I'm finally going to share my video. I'm finally filming my video on what has been going on with me for a long time. It's been taking me a while to film it, though I posted a couple days ago that I would film about having trichotillomania. And it's a hard subject because I feel like not a lot of people are going to understand what it is. I'm just learning myself. I'm not an expert on the term, but I am an expert on being a victim of it. So I wanted to give a little testimony and share awareness on what this mental disorder is. So if you don't know my name is Stephanie, and I have trichotillomania. Now, if you don't know what trichotillomania is, or even how to spell the word, because it's so long, then I'll put it somewhere in the screen where you can see it. I have my tablet here too, and it's going to help me kind of give you a little background on what trichotillomania is. So trichotillomania is just the big word, the big term for hair pulling. Now, when you think of hair pulling, you think, okay, you're pulling your hair out, your scalp, but trichotillomania, you can be pulling your arm hair out, you can be pulling your eyebrows, hairs, your lashes, hair from anywhere on your body, and it is a form of self-harm. Now, I wasn't into the other hair pulling, from other body parts, but I was pulling my hair out from my scalp. So I'm going to give a little definition on what it is from my iPad, sorry. Okay. So trichotillomania, TTM, short for TTM or trick, also known as hair pulling disorder. It is characterized by the repetitive pulling out of one's hair. Trichotillomania is one of a group of behaviors known as body focus repetitive behaviors, self-grooming behavior in which individuals pull, pick, scrape, or bite their hair, skin, or nails, resulting in damage to the body. Research indicates that about 1 or 2 in 50 people experience trichotillomania in their lifetime. It usually begins in the late childhood, early puberty. In childhood, it occurs about equally in boys and girls. By adulthood, 80 to 90% of reported cases are women. Hair pulling varies greatly in its severity, location on the body, and response to treatment. Without treatment, trichotillomania tends to be a chronic condition that may come and go throughout a lifetime. So before I get more into, the correct signs and symptoms of having trichotillomania, now, when I first started pulling my hair out, I've been having this for over 10 years, okay, to the point where I don't know where exactly it began or when, but I know that it came from being stressed. Now, having trichotillomania, they don't know the cause. I'm trying to find here. Let me see. They don't know the really cause of it. Research and doctors, they say that it can be a chemical imbalance in the brain. It could be due to stress. So Um, I don't know. This is hard. having having this disorder, having TTM. Again, I'm not gonna keep saying the long word. Um, I know that it came from stress. I know that it came from, being depressed and having anxiety. I had a lot of depression when I was younger, a lot of anxiety. Um, I lived with a lot of fear um, since my childhood. For some apparent reason, I was always fearful of everything. I was scared to defend myself against anyone. I let people walk over me. I let people do whatever they wanted, without speaking up for myself. That was one big downfall of me when I was younger. Now, I had to be about 13 or 14 years old when I developed this disorder. Now, at the time, I was young, so it's not like I knew what it was. I did not know what trichotillomania was at all. All I knew was that I was pulling my hair out and I'm weird. And there is no one else like me. Why is this happening to me? I just want to die. I really did want to die because it affected me so much. So much. It affected my relationships. It affected me having normal friends. It affected the way I saw myself. It affected everything. Everything it affected, and it took control over my life. And now, I don't want to say that, there were times where, I would not pick at my hair. I would never pick, and then my hair would grow back and life would go as normal, but then something stressful would happen and it would happen all over again. And I fall all over again. Now, that had to be the worst, when I thought I would be healing, but then I would fall right back into this pulling my hair out. And I really thought that I was alone. I really thought that it was not common, that I was a weirdo, that I was a freak, And yeah, it really did affected my mood. I was very antisocial. I didn't have a normal life. I really didn't. I want to read something about trichotillomania. So, although the severity of hair pulling varies widely, many people with trichotillomania have noticeable hair loss, which they attempt to camouflage, which I did all the time. I would wear a headband for so many years. I wore a headband every single day of my life. And if you knew me, if you know, in high school or anything, I was always wearing a headband. And that's what my friends knew me as, and yeah, I mean, it's not like they never asked me or, my friends, I had good friends in high school and, they didn't care about that stuff, but it was hard to have a normal, it was hard. Thinning or bald spots on the head may be covered with hairstyles, scarves, wigs, or makeup. Those with missing eyelashes, eyebrows, or body hair may attempt to camouflage with makeup, clothing, or other means of concealing affected areas. Due to shame and embarrassment, individuals not only try to cover up the effects of trichotillomania, but may avoid activities and social situations which may lead to them to feel vulnerable to being discovered, such as windy weather, going to the beach, swimming, doctor's visits, hair salon appointments, childhood sleepovers, reading for bed in a lighted area, and intimacy. Impacts and effects. For some people, trichotillomania is a mild problem, merely a frustration. But for many, shame and embarrassment about hair pulling causes painful isolation and results in a great deal of emotional distress, placing them at risk for a co-occurring psychiatric disorder, such as a mood or anxiety disorder. Hair pulling can lead to great tension and strained relationships with family members and friends. Family members may need professional help in coping with this problem. Physical effects such as pruritus, tissue damage, and repetitive motion injuries to the muscles or joints are not uncommon. Those who ingest the pulled hair or parts thereof may experience gastrointestinal distress or develop a trichobezar. I don't know if I said that right. But yes, so it affected everything from, you know, going to the beach or being able to have certain hairstyles or go to the hair salon in public. Trust me, like it was hard. It was really hard, but I couldn't control it. I could not control it. And I know whoever's watching this is probably thinking, you know, why would you do that to yourself? Why, you know, this and that, this and this and that. But the thing is that I can't answer you and tell you why I was hurting myself. The only thing I can tell you is that I was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain growing up. I was a very angry child, you know, though a lot of people, many people probably had it worse than me, but I've learned that everyone deals with things differently, and God gives you enough of what you can handle. You know, I didn't grow up with my mom. I didn't grow up with my dad. You know, though I understand the reasons. You know, I grew up with my grandmother until I was 8 years old. You know, my mom, you know, she did everything she could. You know, she sacrificed for us. She was a single mom working her butt off. And, you know, at the time I was young. So, of course, when you're young, you don't understand who's going to, you know, I'm 13 or 14 and, you know, I already have responsibilities as a 14-year-old girl, you know, cleaning and cooking and watching my brothers and sisters, you know, and because, like I said, I mean, I lived with my grandmother until I was 8, and then I moved in with her, with my mom and with my brothers and sisters. And it was just hard because I didn't have a normal childhood, you know. When I was with my grandmother, I was, you know, obviously I was by myself. I didn't have to share my things, you know. When I lived with my mom, everything changed. I had to share rooms with my sister, you know, everything was sharing, and we were fighting all the time. Me and my sister's relationship was not good growing up. And, you know, my mom was strict. She didn't let me go out. I couldn't even, there were times where I would just try to go on the porch and I couldn't even do that, you know. And it was just tough growing up, and my teenage years were tough. And, you know, I couldn't have boyfriends. Obviously that wasn't even possible, and if I did, they were on the porch, you know. They weren't allowed in the house. And when you know, so I was going through a lot, and I also went through, you know, sexual abuse as well. And I'm not going to mention names, but, you know, I went through it, and I know that a lot of people have gone through worse, you know, than me, because there's all types of sexual abuse, but I did go through it, and I kept silent for so many years. And that's one of the reasons why I think that this disorder developed too, because I was keeping that inside. I was keeping my anger inside. I never said what I needed to say growing up because I was just afraid all the time. I was afraid of the outcome. I was afraid of the destruction that it would bring when I opened my mouth. And that affected the rest of my life up until now. You know, last year I had a breakdown. And I never had a breakdown. You know, I was tired of everything. I didn't want to live anymore, you know. And I've always grown up in church. I've always, you know, I knew who God was. I knew who Jesus was. I knew. But another part of me was just so tired. I was emotionally tired because it was just too much for me. Like, I just cannot handle, and it is hard because I know people look at me like, really? Like, there's so many people who are going through it much worse than you are, but that's what it was, for me. It was the end of the world for me. And this year, I made the decision that I wasn't going to feel bad for myself anymore. I wasn't going to sit here and let this disease control my life because I want to live. I have not lived, guys. I haven't even been to another country. I have never stepped out of my comfort zone. I've never done anything that Stephanie wants to do. And I want to now. Like, now that everything's out in the open, like, I feel like a new person. I feel such a weight lifted off of my shoulders. And I don't care what people think about me now. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you don't like me. If you want to be in my life, then you'll be in my life. If you want to be my friend, then you be my friend. But I'm very selective on who I let in my life now, and I'm not the same. I don't keep quiet. I don't, I say what I have to say because I was quiet for so long. And that's one of the things that, having trichotillomania, it's a monster. I'm telling you, it is a monster. But I'm claiming that I am going to be healed. I am healed. In the name of Jesus, I am healed. Because let me tell you, my walk with Christ has not been easy. And I am a normal person, guys. I don't try to act like I have it together because I don't, but neither do I sit here and act like I did this on my own, because I didn't. Without, having my sisters there, or, having my boyfriend there, or, my cousin who's in Florida. Yeah, I don't know where I would be right now, because there's been times where I have felt so lost. I felt like there was nothing left for me. But that was obviously a lie of the enemy. And, in July, my friend introduced me to It Works. And I knew of It Works for a long time. But I didn't actually get into, I'm trying to find the bottle, but I can't find it. I have the case on, I have my phone on top of the box. That's why I can't find it. But anyways, yes, so she gave me, like a trial in July to try it out, because it, by the reviews, those vitamins work like magic. It's like hair, skin, and nails. And supposedly in 30 days, your hair will grow back like nothing, like so fast. And so I tried it, and my hair started growing. Like, literally in July, I have pictures of my hair being short, like this short. Like, you can probably see my scalp. And that was, and that's damage that I did to myself. Now, it wasn't because my hair fell out. It wasn't because I was going bald. I am not going bald. My hair grows normally. And I sit here now, how many months it's been? 4 months since I started It Works. And I have to say that, it is working wonders, Now that, I haven't picked my hair. I have not picked my hair since July, since like the beginning of July. And I've been trying my hardest, and every day is a struggle. Every day I have urges, because it's like a habit. It's just, when I'm stressed out, you get urges, and it's kind of like, I compare it to someone who smokes cigarettes, when it's just something inside you, like you see a sticker and it's like, you know, you have to have it. And it's the same thing that goes on with someone who has trichotillomania. It's like an urge. It's like something in your brain is just telling you to do it. Just do it. It feels good. It's, you know, yeah, it hurt, but it's hard to explain. And now, though, whoever's watching this, I don't know how many people are watching this, but I just want to know. I just want to let anyone know who was going through something similar, who's going through depression, anxiety, anything. I just want you to know that you're not alone. If you're going through the same thing I go through, if you have trichotillomania, if you experience anything like that, a mental disorder like that, I just want to tell you that you are not by yourself. There was something else here that I wanted to read. I guess not. But yes, so it is, trichotillomania is in a family of BFRBs, and BFRBs is basically a it's body focused repetitive behaviors. So it's a habit. It's you know, I learned to do this over the years, where sometimes it would happen naturally, you know. And I don't want this video to be extra long. I just wanted to share my testimony, and I want to share awareness of what this is, of what trichotillomania is, and that it is common. It is so common. It's been around for so many years. Just people just don't know about it. And I really want someone out there to know that you're not alone. Don't feel ashamed. Don't think that you are weird, that you don't fit in, that you don't belong here. Because I felt the same exact way. And let me tell you, that is a lie. You do belong here. You are not weird. You are not an outcast. You are not abnormal. It is common, and you will be healed. And, you know, they say that there's no cure for this disease, but I think that there is. I think that with care, I think that with, you know, with self-love and just motivation to live, to not want to do this anymore, you know, that's being cured. I've had to go to therapy. I have to go to therapy, you know, for this. And not that who wants to go to therapy, but it's part of it, you know, not staying silent, you know, talking to someone, talking to a family member, not keeping things inside anymore. It's really helped me. And I pray that this video was helpful. I hope that it opened your eyes a bit to know that you never know what someone is going through. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and family, with whoever, your grandmother, your aunt, sister, brother. Share it. And I hope that you guys are blessed with this. And I'm out of here. Thank you. Bye.